today we are on a different level and we want to do what we call a lighting breakdown. So I recently saw one of my favorite movies for the year actually, and the movie is called Behind the Scene by Funke Akindele, which everybody knows. I mean, if you don't know Funke Akindele by this time, you are probably living in Jupiter. This is just me as an upcoming cinematographer trying to get details into what I do and what I love to. Looking forward to working with one of the biggest brands, and one of the way is to do lighting breakdowns like this or short breakdowns like this so that I could explain to upcoming filmmakers and upcoming videographers who love the craft and want to get into the craft. Now, without further ado, let us begin. The first shot is this shot from my favorite scene. So this is coming from I don't want to spoil the movie for you, so I'm going to restrict some words. So just look at this shot. Let me enlarge this. So as you can see, we can actually see for a fact that light is coming in from this window here. So this is the light coming in, and which means this is the light lighting them from here and also from Funke's face. Okay, this is where the motivation of the light is coming from. So first things first, we have to get the motivation of the light. So where is the natural light coming from the scene? Then you light from there. So what I suggest is that we are actually blasting lights from here, and it's filling into the room. You understand? So this is the white shot, and also you can also see some bulbs here and see some bulbs here. Okay, so yeah, this is the white shot. Now where things get interesting is when we come back to this guy. So this is I call this the worker's POV because it's a high angle shot. High angle means that the camera is shooting down and pointing towards the person. Okay, so making the person, it's a low angle shot. So the camera is low, pointing onto the person, making them the hero of the frame. Okay, so it makes the person look dominant, and actually in the story she was dominant, and they are actually the workers while she is the madam. I mean, look at her expression. You can know, say joy no D. Understand? Okay, so back to the lighting breakdown. You could actually see that they are actually trying to tell us again. Remember, in the white shot, light was coming in from this side of the frame. So that is why you can actually see that this part of the frame is actually being lit more than this side. That is what we call contrast ratio. So the contrast ratio to the light and dark. Although if I had to take into consideration, I would take into consideration this light here and this light at her head here. Okay, I could actually add a power tube light here. Okay, just blasting down here like this. So it could actually give her a rim light right about here. Okay, so that this light also you can actually see the effect on her body. Maybe sun. So this is shining white. It's more like a white light. It's supposed to have this color temperature of warm. Okay, so yeah, that is it for this shot. And then the final shot, this is the final shot, and this is where I had a little bit of complication because I don't know why they did it that way. Okay, so remember in the first shot we were told that light is coming in from this side. Let's draw that again. Light is coming from this side. So which means that if we open this shot, light is still supposed to be coming in from this side. But with what we are seeing here, we are having dark in his face. I know they are trying to manage contrast ratio, but we shouldn't also take away from the fact of where the light source is actually coming from. So because when we flip to this side, and I started noticing that he is dark in this side of the frame, while we are being told that the light is more here. I mean, Funke's face proved that correctly. The light is coming from here. So it means that the light coming from here, I don't know why they did that. I stand corrected. I stand to be corrected if there is any valid reasons why. Maybe I don't know. Okay, but to me, visually explaining, light is supposed to hit more from here, while this one coming from here will be a few lights. So, but the way I'm seeing it, they added a light source here shining to his face here. Like there's a light source coming in front. That's all I can explain. Okay, yeah, so that is it for the first scene. And the second scene is this one. So this is the second scene, also a very beautiful shot. In fact, I give it to the set designers and cinematographers. They did a wonderful job for this movie. Actually, they did a wonderful job for this movie. So now I would go back to the wide shot. Okay, so with this you can actually see that we have source coming from this too. Okay, these are the two main sources. These are where light is actually coming from. All right, so light is pouring in. I mean, look at the shadows. You see, right? Now this is a beautiful wide shot. Okay, and where things get interesting is when we get into the close-ups. Again, for Funke, you could actually see that, yeah, the windows are behind her, so it makes sense because she turned to talk to the twins, so the light is actually pouring in from here. Okay, so it's more like I'm backing the lights here, this is my window, then I turn to talk to them. You could actually see that it's going to hit me more from this side of my face. I don't know if the camera might flip it the other way. So yeah, that is this one. And there's something you need to understand that the guy did here, which is actually very brilliant. Okay, so if you divide this into two, you see that we have light and we have let me change this to my color, and we have dark. Okay, see, this place is darker and here is lighter, so that's what we call contrast ratio. So you try to manage the contrast ratio, that gives it a bit of dimension, that gives it that cinematic feel we all love and like. Right? So now this shot, beautifully crafted. Now, how were they able to get this dark side? Okay, they use something we call a flag. So a flag is like a black piece of cloth that absorbs light. So don't mind my drawing. So it absorbs light from hitting back to the sensor of the camera. So in this side, hitting the face of the person, so it absorbs the light, make sure it doesn't hit back. Now creates that moody look. So this is what we go for when we are into filmmaking. We try to get the moody look. Okay, so yeah, beautiful shots. Right now, when we get into this shot, now this is where I really liked what he did. Remember, in the first shot here, we have two lights pouring in from two different angles. I mean, this light here, this side here is supposed to look. This side here is supposed to look more, and then this one will be like a few lights of it. But if we are to follow this rule like this, we would have a flat image. We'll have lights hitting the two characters all around. Okay, all around. So now, with the way I see it, if we do that way, we'll have a flat image, and which is not good when making movies. We want to make sure we have what we call contrast ratio, a balanced contrast ratio, and make sure that we just have a bit of shadow. And if you notice, we are shooting at the shadow side, just like I'm doing right now. Okay, you see, I have a light source here. I'm actually using a book lighting, so it's called book lighting. So I'm bouncing the light off a white surface and it's reflecting back to my face because I wanted the light to be soft. Okay, so yeah, and now you see that the camera is coming from this side of my face, which has more shadow, so it gives it this beautiful moody look. Okay, so yeah, that is like how much I can explain what it looks like. Okay, so now what they did is that they still brought back our flag. I need to change the color. They still brought out our flag and they placed it in this side of the frame, a big flag outside the camera here, so that it will block out light from hitting their face in this side. Okay, and again, I want you to take note of something. Let me use this shot for example. So this is a close-up of that same shot. Now you notice that how the light coming from here, is lighting them from this side. So you can see it at his hair here, and also see it as his hair here. So in the previous shot before, it's the same place, but they just they turned and she went to the couch to sit down. So it's the same room. So we were trying to like tell us, you see, that's one thing we take into considerations as filmmakers. We try to make everything intentional as possible. Okay, so we try to make sure the lights, what we see before is what we are seeing again. This is what we call attention to details, and I give it for the cinematographers and the directors also. Okay, so yeah, so there's nothing much. Remember, there's a light, there's a window here. So they place the lights to motivate from the window. It's waiting that that window light is what is hitting them on the face. Here, hitting them on the face here. Okay, yeah. So then this shadow here is the flag that they brought in. Remember, we said that there's a flag here. So just flag here that blocks the light and make sure we have a contrast ratio that is pleasing to the eye, right? So now that is it for this shot, nothing much. Now where things get interesting is this shot right here, and this is the best shot I like so far. Yeah, this is my best shot I like so far. So this is the establishing shot, the wide shot, and then the closing. Okay, now in this shot, looking at these three shots, it happened on the same location. You could see that there are some things that are not right, in my opinion. Okay, so let me say, for instance, this shot here. Now we see light coming in. We see lights pouring in from all these sides. This, by the way, how they got this shot was they made sure they had some openings on the wall. I don't know how they did that. Maybe a cardboard or let me say plywood, and then they drilled holes inside them, and then they're shining lights directly inside those holes. And for us to get these rays of light, we need what we call a haze. So haze will be added to add atmospheric light rays. So once you pour a ton of haze, be it from incense, be it from fog machine, be it from haze, be it from atmospheric haze, so you start seeing light rays. I think you should do that if you want to try that out. Point a light and then put haze in it. You start seeing those rays of light pouring down, right? So that's what I think that happened here. Now back to the lighting condition. So we see that lights are pouring in from here. It's even hitting her on her head here. Okay, and now you can see that her face is actually lit up, which you might think is from the lights coming in from here, but no, it's from the television here. So they added another light here and they made it as soft as possible. So it is hitting her face here, it's hitting her in her hands here, So why they did that is to prove to you that in this establishing shot, that these lights from the televisions are what is lighting her. You see? So that's what they were trying to tell us, that this is the lights lighting her. Alright? But now this is where I have an issue with it. Okay, so this was the light lighting her, but we don't have any light at the back of her. I mean, this shot here tells us that there are lights pouring in. No matter how these lights are pouring in, it should reflect on her. So in my opinion, I'd say I was supposed to expecting some rays of light hitting the chairs, some bouncing off her skin. That's what I felt like. I stand corrected again, remember. So the rays of light are supposed to be hitting her head. Okay, so I don't know. Since those rays, we are still supposed to be seeing those rays of light coming in from this angle. Alright? Now, that is it for that shot. The shot was not too much. Now I'm back to this guy, and as you can see again, they are showing us the rays of light. So they did like a low angle shot on her. So we are not seeing the lights again, but we are seeing the rays. That's what we are trying to see here. If you see on her skin here, on her hair rather, you see there are lights hitting her hair. Now the same issue I had with the other one, I've not seen any rays of light coming in hitting the back of here. I don't know why they did that. I don't know. I don't know. I would like to know why it happened the way it happened. Okay, because back to this shot, you see that lights are hitting here. No matter how it's supposed to be, it's supposed to show that at least you see some rays of light behind here. Some rays of light behind here. But it's completely dark. It's completely dark. So yeah, I mean, that's it for this lighting breakdown. I didn't want this video to be very long. It's actually very long already, but yeah, this is it. This is my breakdown for the movie Behind the Scene. You should go and see this movie. Storyline is actually epic, although I have one bit problem about there's one twist that they did there. I don't know the reason why it happened. That is for another day. You watch the movie and tell me if you can notice what I said. Okay, now when you're watching this movie or when you're watching another movie, you're actually taking a look of where light is actually coming from and how the shot is being composed. Okay, now that is your assignment actually. Okay, that's it for this movie. Remember, as I said before, I'm not downplaying anybody's hard work here. These people that made this movie are professionals. I just felt like some things were missing, which even in my own videos, it is the same. Okay, now, yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.